Thanks to the printing of Counterspell in Modern Horizons 2, Esper Control has been revitalized to a certain extent. So today I'm gonna try out a list that I threw together from various FIFO lists and see how it goes. Here we are on the play with Esper Control, and this hand looks pretty much perfect, exactly what we want, so it's definitely a keep. I'm gonna start off by playing Watery Grave, tapped and passed turn. On the next turn, we're gonna keep up Counterspell and hopefully catch anything they throw at us. Cryptic command, nice draw. And now we're at least safe until turn 4. Looks like our opponent is either on 5-color control or Niv Mizzet. Oh, they're on 4-color control, so it's a mirror. While Teferi is great here, I think we rather have lands. And Archmage's Charm also pretty good to have. Most likely gonna just keep it in hand and fire it off end of turn if nothing from them happens. Or no, I'm gonna wait until I can keep out my counter spell to counter whatever they might have. Well, next turn I would have to discard if I don't draw a land, so I'm gonna fire it off now. They don't even try to counter, so that's nice. We can play out the land and just keep on passing back. Discarding, go for the throne. And this is a pretty classic control mirror. Whoever blinks first loses, most likely. And we have a lot of gas in our hand, so it's probably not gonna be us. This opt counterspelling an opt might seem like not the best idea, but if I can even try to if I can even try to keep them off land, I'm gonna do that. Looks like they're still fine with just passing to us. Well, we're also gonna pass back, discarding Damnation, and whatever spell they cast, we're gonna try to counter. Hoping that they fire back with something. The parry is a nice one, I'm gonna try to get that one down next turn by... Okay, well, they're still gonna keep passing. Fine with me. So now that we have the fairy, once they tap out during or tap lower during their turn, we're just gonna cast the fairy. I'm gonna cryptic command this up, and this might seem like a real waste, but if it gets them to fight back in any way, we win, and otherwise we've just gotten off cryptic command for free, which is also pretty great. And looks like they're working their fetches. Nappy, no. Let's see, we spun snare that. Do they want it resolved now? On their turn, they get a island. I'm gonna crack one of the deltas to get. And this is exactly what I mean by the control decks take forever to finish a game. I think I'm gonna counterspell that one, since we want to keep them low on lands now. If they're gonna respond here, I'm gonna snap counterspell their response, but if they just let it resolve, that's also fine. Looks like they want to snap again, but I'm just gonna respond with my own snap here. And if they want to counterspell this guy, that's okay. That means they don't get value from their snappy, and they're on 3 cards in hand, so yeah, looks like they pretty much threw in the top, even if all their 4 cards are gas from him. Ooh. Now, if this guy resolves that game, so they can't let him resolve, meaning that we can just pass back and do nothing for now. If this is Shark Typhoon, I think we let that resolve, pass the turn back, and most likely Jeskai end of turn. Jeskai end of turn, making them sacrifice a creature and gain 4. If we assume that they have 1 or 2 counters, I think it's okay to attempt playing Teferi this turn. Because if they don't counter back, we can just start drawing with Teferi, and if they do counter back, we can just respond with Counterspell of our own. Now, if they also have Counterspell again, that would be bad since we'd be tapped out, but on the other hand, they would be helping. Okay, looks like the fairy is gonna resolve. And I'm gonna downtick on the shark. They have the opportunity to animate, colonnade, and attack the fairy down, which they're most likely gonna do here, but that just means that any top deck for us is live. Yeah, here comes Colonnade, and probably attacking the fairy. Yeah. And we get Archmage's Charm, which we're just gonna fire off and draw 3. And now we just pass back again. We could attempt to resolve Chase the Mind Sculptor, but I would rather wait some time. They have Chase of their own, but we're gonna just discard them with Esper Charm to make sure they don't have a counter spell in hand, and then Cryptic Commander Chase and draw a card. And now they're out of cards. We have Castle Vantress plus Chase plus Counterspell in hand, so we can just pick up and look at their top deck. Would opt on the bottom and pass the turn. Looks like they're gonna animate it in Chase for 4. And now we untap Rainstorm with Chase, hoping to hit a removal spell. Fairy also rather nice, so we can just a fairy and uptick, and hopefully that gets the concession out of them. looks like they still wanna keep going, even though it's pretty much over at this point. Since they can only answer Chase this turn with Celestial Collide, meaning they can't tap anything else. Or nothing after that to ensure that whatever they cast gets through. So yeah, Chase dies here, but that doesn't really matter since we still have Teferi, which just runs away with the game, and we get another Chase. So yeah. Another Chase, and looks like also gonna resolve, and now we're just gonna start by taking up Chase. Past the turn, and whatever they have in hand, we have Force of Negation for, and yeah. Helix doesn't really matter here. If they animate Colonnade, we can push it, and they don't have mana open to cast a counter to our counter. It looks like they're gonna path their Colonnade, probably getting planes, yeah. And if I were them, I would concede here. They're obviously playing for me running out of time, but that doesn't really make a ton of sense, since that's also true for them. Less so than for me, but they have to win 2 more games. So right now they're definitely banking on me running out of time, which, to be honest, could be the case easily. And obviously now I have to kind of wreck my setting, but yeah, it's garbage time, so it doesn't really matter. I think now they definitely should concede per emblem, and if not, oh well. Looks like they are still convinced they can win, but to break it to them, but a fairy emblem, chase optic, and we can just start drawing cards to exile their lands. And you still wanna keep playing it out, but I don't see anything that could harm us anymore. Since we just have the fairy emblem that's gonna keep everything in check, and just gonna ult in 2 more turns. So yeah, if they just wanna keep on wasting their time, that's okay. I can easily win a sideboarded game in 12 games. 12 minutes. Since after sideboarding, we both get 1 more Teferi and also Vandalion Click. And they concede, realizing that they've been just wasting our time here. Okay. Well, for this match, I'm definitely gonna bring in the spells Vindicate, Fairy Time Reveler, Click, Force of Negation, and the 2 Mystical Disputes. I'm not sure how many pushes to leave in, so for now I'm just gonna cut 2 of them and go for the throat, as well as Kaya's Guile. One of the very heroes of Damnaria, as they're just kinda too slow. I'm probably gonna cut the Counterspell since we have more efficient ways to answer and then opt because the game's gonna go long. So yeah, that's my sideboarding. I'll try it like this. And this hand isn't that great, but I'm still gonna keep. Both lands are tapped, but the game's gonna start off slow and we can draw island, in which case it wouldn't be slow at all. So we can just go for the first few turns. And now leave open dispute if they have anything. Looks like they want to seal up the game fast, but dispute. If they cast a blue card here, I'm definitely gonna Snapcaster. But looks like they don't, so we can just keep passing. And they're behind 1 land, so they're behind this game. I'm gonna fetch for Island and cast a click here to look at their hand. I'm most likely not gonna take anything and just let them stay on verdict. Yeah. Verdict, snappy, cryptic, force, dispute. Well, the dispute could be rather ugly, but I'm gonna let them keep those cards. Since they're stuck on 3 lands for now, and if they don't answer click, they're gonna die fast. Yeah. And we can just keep hitting them with click and counter whatever they play. Since we're ahead on mana, and if they don't draw, oh well, they drew. Looks like we're gonna have to snap in response. And dispute. If I had to guess, this is gonna force a dispute from them. On our dispute, and we're gonna force a negation, exiling Chase the Mind Sculptor. I'm gonna crack Polluted Delta for Watery Grave, and next turn they're most likely gonna cast Supreme Verdict, and we can't counter it, which is not optimal, but we can return probably click to our hand with Cryptic Command Bounce Draw. And click is gonna threaten game over. In 2 attacks, so they're gonna have to keep that in mind. Click bounce draw, we can even opt here. Getting Esper Charm, but well, okay, sure. I'm gonna keep that on top, and Supreme Verdict resolves, getting rid of our Snappy. On their turn, I'm gonna Esper Charm them end of turn if they don't do anything to discard them for 2 cards. they're probably gonna want to counter this. They go down to 5. And here comes Cryptic Command, which we're sadly gonna have to lose an Archmage's Charm, but Esper Charm here seems like the best option. They'll have to discard 2 cards, and we can just pass back. And now we're on 2 cards in hand, they're on 3 cards, but they're much lower on life. They even feel forced to cast a fairy here, which they don't have any way of forcing through. So yeah. Now they don't have a way of interacting with the fairy. So I'm just gonna uptick and draw. Instead, we can either target us with click to get rid of our second fairy, or click them to ensure that we can just swing in with both click and colonnade. And looks like they have an answer here. But yeah, lightning bolt isn't gonna matter much here. We can just tap, draw, and then with colonnade. And since we're able to untap 2 lands, we can Archmage's Charm next turn. And unless they draw something to answer collide through our Archmage's Charm, they're dead here. So yeah, that's the game. I'm convinced that they wanted to round me or time me out this game, but I'm not sure you actually can do that in the mirror. Well, you obviously can, but I think that especially game 1 you should concede as soon as someone attacks with Teferi, because there's pretty much no time to go back from that, at least in game 1. In game 2, it's a kind of different story because I get Vendilion clicks and less removal and more counter spells to keep my creatures alive. But all in all, yeah, I have a lot more experience than most control players in the mirror, since that's mostly what I played a lot of the time in FNM before the pandemic. All in all, I'm not sure what I want to do with the list. I'm not convinced on so many glacial fortresses and drowned catacombs as they're quite by the multiples, but I'm not a fan of the filter lands, since one of the main reasons against them is that they eat up a lot of my time. So as of now, I'm not running any. I could be convinced to try one or two, but we'll see. That's it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.